With so many options out there, what games are you going to spend your money on? We're going to try to help you out at least a little bit with a comparison of some recent additions to the escape room mystery genre. Let's see what we've got.
Hello and welcome to Tantrum House Studio Awesome. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Apprentice Dan, and today we're going to be looking at a comparison video of 3 different mystery or escape room type of games for you.
We'll be looking at Break-In Alcatraz by Play Monster Games, Black Brim 1876 by Puzzling Pursuits, and Unsolved Case Files, the Harmony Ashcroft case by Pressman Games.
These games are all pretty different, so we'll do our best to showcase some of those differences to help you make a better decision on when. You probably should just go ahead and get all 3.
In Break-In Alcatraz, you're trying to help inmates escape from Alcatraz, but to do that, you have to first break in to supply necessary things so you can help them break out.
Black Brim 1876 is a mystery where you are an English detective who has received a mysterious letter saying that your police force has been kidnapped and the villain is putting you to the test with puzzles in order to find out where they are and how to get them back.
And in Unsolved Case Files, you've been given a cold case that is being reopened, and you have to prove that the original convicted killer is innocent, and then figure out who the real killer is.
Each game has a unique feel for sure. Ryan, what was Break-In like?
Break-In is very much an escape room in a box experience. The box opens to reveal more of Alcatraz, and then opens again and again with more puzzles each time. You can really see the storyline unfold as you play the game. What about Black Brim, Dan?
Well, Black Brim is a series of puzzles given to you by this kidnapper, and there really isn't a box, so to speak. You're given a restaurant menu, random pictures, and a map, among other things. And it leads you to where the police officers have been held, and it hopefully helps you escape those rooms. This isn't really an escape room in a box as much as Break-In, but it still fits the mold.
Unsolved Case Files is really just solving a murder mystery. You're given all the old case files from the murder with witness testimonies and alibis, crime scene photos, and newspaper clippings. In everything you see, there is a way to prove that the original conviction was wrong and that someone else is the real killer. Dan, you've played all 3 of these games. What are some of the biggest differences for you?
Well, as I said, they all have their unique styles, and that may appeal to different crowds. Unsolved Case Files is probably the most different in that it's not about puzzles. It's about finding the clue in all these statements and pictures. If you've watched any kind of detective show where they sit there late at night and they've got things pinned all over, you're getting to feel their pain. You know what you're missing, or you think you know what you're missing, but then something just doesn't add up. And then your friend's like, hey, what about this Jimmy guy? And that leads you down a different direction, and you have to try and figure out how it all comes together. Between Black Brim and Break-In, I would say Black Brim is maybe a bit more abstract, or maybe it's just harder. For example, one puzzle simply is a sheet of paper with a title and then random letters all over the paper, and you have to figure out what it all means. Break-In has maybe more direction built into the puzzle from puzzle to puzzle as you go through the game.
Now, in Break-In, everything you need is right in the box. You get hints and answers in the game and don't need to go online. How do the other games manage that?
Well, that's right. In Unsolved Case Files, you go to a website and you submit your answers there, and it'll tell you if you're right or wrong. You can also get some hints there if you need that. Otherwise, there's no really looking things up online or having to depend on a computer for that kind of thing. Black Brim also does the same thing with its hints and checking answers, but they even tell you straight up, you're probably going to want to Google some things, and I would agree, you're definitely going to want to do that. Some of these things are hard and they're very random or seemingly random.
What would you say is the play experience for each game? Are they good for like a larger play group or maybe a smaller count of players?
Well, first off, they're all good at lower play counts for sure. We talked in our break-in review that I think it's better for 1 to 4 than the published 1 to 6 because you're really focused in on this box. And as you open it up, sure, you get some clue cards or some puzzle cards that you have to work through, but everything is around that box. So if you have extra players, you have more people trying to reach in and do different things. I could just see an alpha player really taking over there. Unsolved case files is a little harder for me to say, really. You have a lot that could be passed around to other players, but at the same time, that's information that needs to be disseminated to everybody else. So you have to have good communication there in the group. And lastly, Black Brim seems like the best for a larger group of these three. You start the game out with, I think, 5 distinct puzzles, and then you get another 6 puzzles that you're all trying to solve. So one person might be better with riddles, so you can give them that. One person might be better with math. You can spread it around and take some turns saying, okay, well, you look up this stuff and you Google that. I'll write these numbers down or whatever, and we'll see what it means, and if we can solve these puzzles.
How would you rank the games in order of difficulty?
Break-In is listed as 2 out of 4 on the box, so it's not pretending to be super hard. And I would agree with that. It's going to be the easiest of the 3. I would probably say Unsolved Case Files because it is more of just a needle in the haystack. You're hoping you find what you need as quickly as you can. But the hardest, I would say, Black Brim. It had some very tricky puzzles, at least to me.
Are any of them replayable at all?
I would probably say no, at least not yourself replaying them over and over. But you can play them without destroying them. It's not like you have to tear things apart. So you could easily get together with a friend and say, hey, let me walk through this with you. And in fact, I did that with a friend, and I had forgotten some of the things that were answers. So it was kind of new for me that second time through. But Unsolved Case Files, there's no replay value there because once you know what that information is, you know it, and there's really no getting around that. But really, you could do this, pass it around to other friends, you could enjoy it with other people, and maybe make it a competition of sorts. Who solved it the fastest?
So which one's your favorite?
Ooh, the favorite, I think it really comes down to what you enjoy. My wife hadn't really experienced this before. She liked Break-In. That was her first one that we played, and she enjoyed it overall. But I think she actually went with Unsolved Case Files because of the mystery aspect. She wasn't into the puzzles as much. She liked just looking at a bunch of stuff and finding what the clue was. I personally would have to lean towards Black Brim. I think the setting was a little more enjoyable for me. The 1876 time period, it was a little Sherlock Holmes-ish. And I just thought it did a good job of really challenging me and my friends as we played through the game. But all of them represent the genre well.
Sounds great. Well, we hope this helps you decide what your next game night purchase will be. Get all 3 and compare them for yourselves. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to Tantrum House, and check out our other videos for more awesome board gaming content.